Hi, I'm Shay.
And I'm Shealyn.
And this is Shea Scare Lounge. Happy New Year. See, we're all dressed up in our New Year's get up here for a very special New Year's Evil movie.
Oh, yeah.
From 1980. So that's
I even have
stuff.
You have a boa.
Oh,
yeah.
Things just got crazy.
New Year's, you got to do your
sure.
best. My fancy jewelry from Glitter Lines.
See, I got fun nails on, so there's that.
Same.
See, sparkly, almost fun. And then I do have this fabulous necklace that Shaylin gave me for Christmas because we're Flaming Hot Cheetos or Doritos.
Yeah, I actually have Flaming Hot Cheetos on my ears.
Oh, so, yes. I have the Cheez-Its. I'm wearing the Cheez-Its. Weird snacks today.
A lovely lady named Debbie in Brooklyn. Glitter Lime, she's rad.
Glitter Lime.
But yes, so about this wonderful movie, New Year's Evil, that I meant to read about, but I watched it about 5 times yesterday, and now it's like one of my favorite movies. So I'll be watching it every day.
I was prepared to hate this movie. I was prepared. I was like, this movie's gonna suck. Oh my god. But actually, it wasn't that bad. I did have some questionable thoughts at the very beginning where I was like, because I wasn't sure exactly where they were. And then until they started talking about it.
When they mentioned Palm Springs, that's where the dude was, I was like, okay, it's got to be California. It's not going to be but I always by default think every New Year's movie is going to be about New York City.
That's what I thought it was at first as well. Punk rock kids driving down, hanging out, cussing and yelling at people, spitting on. I'm like, what is this? Like, what did people really do this?
I just kept thinking, how are they not getting pulled over? Because
there was like
only
10
were
people
they
in the
drinking,
car.
but they were like sitting. Yeah, like I feel like I would be more afraid,
80s.
But maybe that was supposed to show that they were just so cool, Then they pull up and they're like, "We got a ticket, don't worry." Like they're very, very punk of them.
They're
or
very
whatever.
Punk. They're punk rock.
Punk or new wave, whatever is supposed to be the
punk
theme
rock.
here.
There are so many things that I'm like, you really do have to watch the movie in length to understand some of the things at the beginning. Because you hold the dress up and I'm like, that's like a plastic fake dress. Like, what kind of weird 80s dress? But it looks great on her. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she looks like a hot set. And then she did her makeup before she got dressed. And I'm like, what's going on?
Wait, I do that. You don't do that?
No.
I get dressed last. That's the order.
I don't know the order. Clearly, obviously, I'm not a girly girl. I'm like, I was dressed before I put my makeup on. Whatever. But I was just like, I see all the blush. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on right now. And then she got dressed and then she went out. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay. It took like a hot minute. And she has this son who's like, I don't know.
Interesting.
20, he's like 18. I don't know. Clearly she's a very standoffish mom.
She's busy, okay? She's about to record a big show. I mean,
right. And clearly her career has always been way more important than her family because he's like, I don't know, throwing a tantrum or whatever. So she says, hey, I got this part. I got the lead. I got this part. And she's like, that's nice. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets all like, oh my God, dramatic. And I'm like,
he's a little dramatic, a little needy. Clearly like a weird Oedipus complex going on.
As the movie gets weirder and weirder, you're just like, why is he even acting up? Like, I don't even understand.
Okay,
like,
so I guess we should say the premise of the movie before, because otherwise nobody has any idea what we are talking about. It's true, because
I'm pretty sure no one else has really watched this movie. So
I don't know. It's on Amazon Prime, so I feel like it's better known than we think. Well, I would just say it's very, it's simple. It's like a guy, she's hosting this big New Year's Eve show. And a guy calls in and says he's going to kill somebody close to her. And then I think it doesn't have to be close to her, but whatever. And every time zone. So, he's got to do New York. And then I think they're filming for Chicago. And then they go to Colorado and LA. So, he actually does the first murder, which this, again, you said was predictable. Maybe I missed it and I didn't think it was going to be, spoiler alert, if anyone watches this movie, it's the husband, but I'm like, maybe I missed that. I don't know. I thought it was just kind of his phone call or their whole, like, Yvonne tells her he's not coming. And I think, oh, another shitty dad, whatever.
Right.
I didn't put that together. I thought it was going to be the son. I thought that's what you meant by predictable.
At first I thought, okay, it's the son, but then they show the killer's face and I was like, okay.
Exactly. So I'm like, it's not the son, but I didn't put them together that was going to be the dad, just because he looks so square, and Blaze, the woman, is so like extra
over the top.
Yes. So I wasn't expecting her to be married to like a golfer kind of dude, like that's his
right. So I totally was like, this dude is going to be like married to her or something. It's going to be something. He's like his dad, because then his son is acting up like the entire time, like it's a full moon or whatever, and he's just like putting weird stockings on his face, and he's like,
what was that?
I don't know.
I think he was supposed to do it. I don't know. Like, the message I got from this movie is like, don't procreate with strange people, like, because like clearly the son has a lot going on, where the dad even references the son thinks the mom's trying to turn him on, like some weird stuff. There are some weird things going on. But like I said, they go just, this guy's going to murder somebody. Of course, predictable. I thought it's going to end up there. Someone's going to try and murder her, but I loved all the LA shots. Yes. Like, I loved seeing like what's behind me, the Van Nuys drive-in. Yeah, I don't know. He does a good job about getting around LA, because I kept mapping it, like where you see like which liquor store, and I'm like, is he actually there? So he did cover his ground pretty well.
And so his first kill is Yvonne in the hotel that they're already at.
You're right. So was that the son who did that one?
I think that was him. Because then if you notice later, because he had to set everything up with his
that's right,
box of weird, I don't even know what it was, stuff.
He knows everything about an elevator too.
Right. Okay. Apparently he's an elevator engineer of some sort. Whatever. So he has his whole box, and who has not seen this? Why is there a big suitcase box just like right here in the middle of the hallway? That's so weird. But so she's dead first. She's the first one to die. So okay, first is Yvonne, and then he starts the midnight thing. So then at midnight, he kills the nurse at the
midnight in New York. Yeah, midnight in New York.
New York. He does the lady who's at the asylum or sanitarium or whatever, and so he kills her, which apparently he used to be a patient at.
Okay, that makes sense, because I was wondering why it had to be there. I know it's very like time, those movies a lot. I feel like they always went to a sanitarium of some sort, but I didn't realize he had been there. Okay, makes sense.
It said like for 5 seconds. It's like one line. And got him. He used to be a patient there. Now, how did the nurse not recognize him if he was a patient there? But cool.
Well, I think hopefully it was a high turnaround rate or something. I hope she wasn't a nurse and then she's like trying to, make out with him or something. So.
Right. Well, he's dressed as a doctor. He's not dressed as a patient. Dressed as a doctor, and he's like, I got some bubbly. Let's whatever. So he records all his kills so he can play it again for Blaze on air.
On Hollywood Hotline, the big
Hotline. Yes, the big hotline.
I think they're live, I guess. And so he keeps playing it. You can hear the countdowns. You can hear the murder happening.
Right.
Because of instant replay that he's very excited to talk about.
Right. So the technology is amazing.
So similar to this movie, because I guess I didn't look it up. What year is this supposed to be?
1980.
Oh, they're going into the 80s.
Right.
Or they're leaving.
It is going into the 80s. Yes.
Got it.
Which could explain why the technology is so exciting for this dude who's carrying around a boombox.
I know. It's like a very extreme, like when he's going to murder someone, he's still carrying it around. Like, I feel like
he has to record it. He has to record them screaming or whatever. So he kills the nurse, and then he goes to a bar for the next hour, and he meets up with some dumb girl.
I love her. Great character actress.
She plays a complete ditz who just verbally vomits whatever.
She has her friend come with her.
Right, that's because she had no choice. And so
the friend had a bad hairdo. She didn't know what to do with her.
Her friend was clearly
French
babysitting this bimbo. Okay, fine. And so her
he has
friend
a very
is like,
extreme mustache in this scene.
Right, because he's glued on. It's fake. And he's like, hey.
I thought he was going to let her go, though, because like she was kind of nice, you know, but he has no heart.
No, he has a heart. It's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for. And so
yeah, it's very extreme.
He has her go to the liquor store. So he kills her friend. And then she comes back. And I thought she was just going to find the body. And like, that was
Me too.
But he jumped out of the trash can and killed her and put them all over a jungle gym or something.
Yeah, she slides down the slide. I thought that was
was interesting.
Good touch.
I'm like, how do we time that? I don't even know. But he calls in and tells them exactly his location. I'm like, this seems like a bad idea. I'm just gonna say. But you clearly want to be found. And
yes, he wants credit for this. Yeah. He's you know, given up the spotlight to Blaze for so long that he wants to be.
Right. And then he gets into a fight because he's dressed as a priest. And he gets into a fight with
some bikers.
The Hell's Angels. Okay. And they follow him to a drive-through. Drive-in, the one that's behind you, goes to the drive-in.
Nice drive-in.
Right. And so then he ducks out with his, boombox, and then he abducts this one girl who's making out with her boyfriend in the back seat while they're watching this movie.
Doing bad things, that's what happens,
Right? What? Obviously, because they didn't go all the way, it was just on top. She lived.
She was safe. I guess that makes sense. I would have, if I was her, as soon as those dudes walked in front of the car, I would have said, this other guy is trying to murder me, like help or something. Instead, she runs into a dark playground.
Either way, I do feel that she was the smartest out of all of them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have hit. Like, I don't know. I would have been, but then, if you're screaming, then the person knows where you are. So she was smart.
Right. Agreed. She was smart. She ran, she hid, and then the cops came, they saved her and scared the creep away. So he didn't get his 11 o'clock kill.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. So then he went and he goes to the hotel, which I don't know how they are even allowed to do that. Go, whoa, we're closing off the entire hotel until the show's over. You say you're going to block off the floor. The floor is one thing. You blocked off the entire hotel.
Just for safety. But they weren't doing a very good job, clearly.
Right. Because then the killer or her husband or whatever, he calls over the one cop and he comes over and then he knocks him out or kills him.
He's like, hey, come over. I think I see a drunk. And it's like, what? Who cares? Like,
what cop cares about a drunk? Everyone's drunk right now. It's New Year's.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, and that was weak, but it works.
It works. 1980s. It works. So what gets me is he ends up at the apartment or whatever. He breaks in somehow.
Hotel or something. Yeah, whatever.
Hotel, whatever. She comes. Or
is it the Capitol Records anyway?
She's so distraught. So she's like, talks to her son, and he doesn't want anything to do with her. I had a surprise for you, but I don't want to talk to you now.
I know. Does he mean he was going to tell her that the dad was there? Like, I think so. That was like the surprise. And that's not even a good surprise. Like, it scares her.
Well, at first it doesn't, because she's like, oh, Richard, thank God you're here. And then he's like, but her personality changes so quick, like, oh, I'm so glad you're here, to whatever, I don't want to talk to you.
But so she's making her way down there with the cop.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy dude has not only hotwired the elevator, whatever you call it, he's in control, but he has a camera in there. Like, he's very thorough. Right? This guy has had a lot of angst over the years. He's really ready to
20 years build up. 20 years build up. So
yes. So she's, he does the whole big drop, which I guess knocked her out for a little. I don't know, whatever.
It's supposed to knock her out, and he sees the cop isn't totally knocked out. So he kicks him in the face, knocks him out, drags him away, and then says it talks about how technology is so amazing. And then he's like bragging about it. He tells her, I'm like, you are weird. Like, so you want her to know. Weird. And you tell her that you're the killer, and you're like, he's like, what?
Yeah.
No big deal.
Killed her friend, because they've been stealing or squeezing him for money, or like making him justify whenever he gets up.
Right.
Like,
because
you probably don't work like
money. He has to ask for it. So he feels chastised as a man.
I don't know. I just couldn't buy him as, I could totally buy him as a murderer. He's like a white male.
Right. He's
usually
super
the
creepy.
murderer.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole, I don't know. Like I said, I love it. One of my favorite films now. I will watch it every New Year's Eve, but it was just very predictable. Yes. Although, is there a second one or something?
Like, I don't know, but it should be. Although I do like that there's not a second one.
Maybe there is. Maybe it's called something like completely different and we don't
Valentine's
know. Day. Like, I feel like I've seen that creepy mask before. That was my other option for a background. And I was like,
definitely, I know, I thought about that one too. It's definitely been around. I feel like it's a Laurel and Hardy look or something. But
maybe
changed her to the bottom of the elevator to smash her. But instead, he wants her to go for a ride. So he shoots her up, he shoots her down, and she's screaming. And there's people in the elevator trying to stop, like with the stop button. And like, do they not hear her screaming? Like, she's right below them.
I couldn't figure out if that guy, if it was part of his outfit or if he was taped to the elevator. Did you see that? The guy?
I did. I think it, because they were both punk. They were just punk rockers. And I think that was his outfit.
Okay, got it.
And then so the cop chases the bad guy up to the roof. She's still chained to the elevator. And then he puts the mask on, turns around, and then decides to leap off of the building, kill himself.
But before he did that, he makes a point to pull out his switchblade and snap it out, which I thought was very weird. I'm like,
he takes out the gun and puts it on the ground. He takes out his switchblade and snaps it open. Like, I thought he was going to do something.
Well, I thought he was going to be a comb, like the guy in the beginning who does it, like when they're getting in, and I used to have a comb like that. So I thought, oh, is he going to do that? And to be funny, distract him. And then he's like, ah.
Right.
But no, then he just ends up killing himself.
Yeah. And he jumps off the building, kills himself. And then his son goes down there and he's petting his dad, takes off the mask or whatever.
Yeah, which is creepy because, I mean, not to make this a dark story, but I've seen and I feel like you wouldn't want to take anything off. It would be very bloody. You don't necessarily want to take the mask off and wear it yourself.
Apparently he had no problem with that. So he put it on and kills an ambulance. Blaze gets hauled off into the ambulance, and then he's wearing the mask in the ambulance, and they drive off into the sunset.
No one thinks that's weird. Like, that made me
it's not Halloween
because exactly. I thought perhaps, but even that during Halloween, if a driver is wearing a mask, like, that's a red flag. This is not okay. Like, I would rather my ambulance driver be able to see. You can't see at those masks at all. And so nobody thought that was weird. No one saw a red flag. And there were people like in front of the car.
There were people all over watching Blaze drive away in an ambulance, and guys like, hey, we got her stable, let's head off. But now is the son going to kill her? Like, I feel
definitely.
Like, how many switchblades would you give this movie?
Oh, I like the switchblades. I mean, I originally was gonna as a New Year's movie, 5 out of 5. Okay. But as a horror movie as a whole, this is tough. But I'm still gonna say 4. I thought it was great. Like, it holds your attention the whole time. It
does and it doesn't. There were parts where I was like,
but
at the beginning. The beginning is a little slow going.
It does.
It's a little draggy.
But yeah, how many do you give it?
I would give it, for a New Year's Eve movie, I would say 4 out of 5. It wasn't bad. It was an interesting idea. And so then as an actual horror movie, I would say I give it 3 out of 5.
Pretty good for you.
It was. I was expecting to really hate this movie. I really was.
I thought you were gonna, when I asked, you said you were watching it, and I thought, she's gonna write me tomorrow and go, I still have to finish it, because you loved taking 2 days to watch
at the same time. I didn't break it up.
It's literally an hour and a half. Very enjoyable. I'd recommend it to anybody. But anyway,
follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, follow us on Instagram. We do more stuff there than anything else, I think. And make comments on the videos. We'd love to hear what people say.
Yeah, I know you can't see it with my background, but just know it's there. Dang it! I should have shot you, not you, but like
hit your camera.
I think for you, I have one more. Hold on.
Oh, good. Don't break your camera.
It's on the middle.
It's great.
That worked.
That's awesome. That's great. I love it.
It smells like that. But Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! And then we'll see you next year with another video.
That is so. I love that joke. I love it.
I'm making you laugh. Shut up.
It never gets old. Mwah. Fade away.
And
is someone there?
Sorry.
Are you about to be murdered? Is it open for business? Lady of the night.